Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you an example of how we can work with the elements in our favor for anything that we want to do in our profession. In this case, I'm going to use an example of a client that I had this week. He writes screenplays for romantic comedy. So he is the right person for this job because in his astrological composition, he already has these elements. He already is a sign, a fire sign. He's an Aries, April 15. So that means that, and also his ascendant is an air sign, a Libra. So it's an Aries with a Libra ascendant, which means that he has a lot of fire element already in him, a lot of air element. The fire element allows him to have that comedy part, that fiery, like active, funny part of him already active, and you see his composition is large in fire. And then his ascendant in Libra, which is air, allows him to have ideas, to be connected to a lot of ideas, creativity. So it's a perfect combination of fire and air for this type of job. And also he has a large part of water, which is his third element, where is the romantic side, the emotional and connection to that romantic part. So, and his last element is earth, which is great because earth usually gives you more stability and flexibility, and it makes you more rigid. So for this type of job, you want to be very flexible, to be able to improvise, to come up with an idea, to fit something that you may think, it doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. And so that's like the perfect combination for someone who writes screenplays for romantic comedy. So, but what happens and why he came to me? He started to feel blocked. He can't, do it anymore in the way he was doing it, and he feels like something is wrong. He wants to see if there are any energetic blockages that are preventing him from being the best that he can be at his job. So first we had to go over the soul elements. That's the most important. We can't really even get to the physical elements or any crystallization in the body of emotions or anything until we have first healed the layer of the soul, because that's like the first filter. So before you come across anybody or anything, what they see is this aura, your electromagnetic field, your soul. It carries all the information of all the things that you have accumulated throughout your life. So there's information there of memories, thoughts, ideas, all the beliefs that you carry. Everything is there. So that's your mask, right? Before you meet a person or when you meet a person, the first thing they see is that. They don't see this. They don't see the true self. They don't see who you really are in your most basic form of elemental form. They're going to see all this first. So if you had a fight with your girlfriend or boyfriend, that's going to be here. There's going to be a lot of more fire and more water. If you don't like your job anymore, then there's going to be a lot of earth. It's like, I don't belong to this job, get me out of here. So first you're going to see all these imbalances, and all this earth is going to add to this, all this fire is going to add to this, all this water is going to add to this. So all of a sudden, this earth element starts becoming bigger. The water element may become bigger too. And then it's like everything starts shifting, right? So this events, circumstances start affecting your true composition. This doesn't mean that this is going to change. This stays always. That's who you are. That's what your initial, original idea, let's say. But it's circumstantially affected by all these things that you're going through. So the only way that you can go back to your center is by releasing the elements of the soul first. And that's where soul restructuring comes in. It's like a very simple technique. And I'm really determined to give you this information every time, because I don't know who is new listening to the show or who is, who's been with us for a while, but this is very important. You have to go through layers. I mean, the only way that you can get to your center is by healing, peeling the onion, get rid of all these layers of things that you don't need. So the first thing we do is heal the soul. For that, we use the techniques in the soul reprogramming method or in this soul restructuring, and that I have shown you in the book, and I will go over those in the class too. And After we do that, once we have released all emotions, ideas, beliefs, blockages, then we can work with the body. What is the composition in the body? What is crystallized there? And for that, we can use a series of different techniques. First of all, I would start in balancing whatever imbalance he's describing. First, of course, we will have to see what is he really going through, what is he feeling? Is he feeling spacey? Maybe there's too much air. Is he feeling like, you know, these events at work, you know, he doesn't belong there, so it's too much earth. What do we need to eat in order to balance those elements immediately, to make a chemistry change, a chemical change in our physical bodies? So let's say if we have an excess of the earth element, we're gonna stop momentarily until we can balance everything, eating dry foods, things that are dry, like grains, for example. For the time being, until we can get rid of the imbalance of the earth element, we're going to cut off on the grains, right? If we need more water, then we're going to add more fruits, more live foods that have more water in them. And if we need more fire, then we're going to add some spices to the food. We're going to add more radishes and things that are spicy in nature, hot, right? I definitely don't recommend in any of my teachings to eat any animal products, because those have their own elements. You know, who knows what the animal went through, all that energy that is there, it's also there, and it's going to affect you in all these negative ways, because no animal was happy to die to be eaten. So all that energy, you're eating it too, and it goes to your composition of the body. So we try to avoid any of that. If you really want to become a clear channel and manage your elements in the right way, you're going to have to do it in a plant-based diet, because it's the easiest and best way to really manage the elements and through food, right? So once we have healed the layers of the soul, we have healed the body, then we can focus in how do we go back to this balance? How do we achieve this? At this point, once you have already done that, all you need to do is connect back to that center, to that awareness, which is what we practice in soul restructuring. Bring you back to the original idea, to the first idea of who you are. When you were born, there was some idea of you that had this original composition, who you really are, when you came here, your true essence, right? So through some process of breathing and movement, we go back to this point of awareness. But you can't really become aware of that if there is interference, and that's why it is needed to go through the process of soul restructuring, healing the body, which is what we're going to see in cellular activation in class number 2, and then connecting to your essence, which is the third part that we see in elevation of consciousness. And we also see that in the soul restructuring, so you can probably already start experiencing that from now, because I have that information already available. Okay guys, I hope that this gives you some light about how to work with the elements. For the profession, I'm going to be talking about a few different cases in the next week. So if one of these is yours, or if you have a request, something that you're doing that you would like to see, please let me know. Okay, very good. See you soon.